Did you know the average investor only earns about 4% annually? Not because of bad funds, but because of bad strategy. If you're investing without a plan, you might be leaving tens of thousands of dollars on the table. Welcome back to Simply Money. Today, I am revealing my new investment strategy, one that includes ALTI, QQI, and SPYI. I've added a couple small positions of each of these, and I'm going to share what that is, and I'll be doing regular updates on them, showing what the distributions are, as well as the overall performance. We're going to track that over the next couple years. I look forward to joining you on this journey as I use my portfolio to share with you the results of these three funds. With today's volatile markets, dividend income, diversification, and smart option strategies matter more than ever. Here's what I've seen time and time again. People chasing the hottest stock, dumping funds after one down quarter, or holding too much cash. The result? Poor returns and lost time. The real challenge is finding investments that give you consistent income, exposure to growth, and some downside protection, without needing to babysit your portfolio every day. That's why I've shifted my strategy to include three key ETFs: ULTY or ALTI, a yield maximized ETF targeting income from MicroStrategy MSTR using options. High yield but concentrated, great for generating cash flow, and they pay weekly. This is going to be an interesting one for me. I put a small position of this. The second one was QQI, offers exposure to growth tech, the NASDAQ, with an income overlay, a way to play tech while collecting steady income. And then the third one is SPYI, focused on the S&P 500 with an options twist, giving exposure to broad market growth while enhancing returns through covered calls. Together, these funds provide monthly income, diversification, and potential upside, a triple threat against inflation and volatility. As I approach my decision for retirement, I'm looking for a stronger monthly income to not have to draw down my portfolio. So you already know, if you've been following my channel, JEPQ is one of my other covered call ETFs. I currently have about 1,500 shares and value of about $81,000 there. So let's look at the three that I've added. Starting with ALTI, I have about 798 shares. I invested about $5,000 in this. Just a small position, very fractional percentage of my portfolio. So this isn't financial advice for you to go out and buy ALTI. It's more of an experiment for you to watch and see how it performs. I'm going to be giving these updates on a regular basis, showing what the distribution was, seeing if the NAV is eroding, as well as seeing how the portfolio overall is performing. On all of these currently, I'm going to be keeping the drip on. And then down the road, if I like how this goes, that may be what I turn the drip off and take a portion of that for income and then reinvest what I don't need. The second position that I added was QQI. I have about 400 shares of this. This was about a $21,000 position that I got into. This is a little bit more aggressive because I'm really solid on QQI, and so I felt really good about putting a little bit more in this one. It's very similar to JEPQ in its performance, but again, it follows the NASDAQ, so I wanted a little bit of exposure there, and so that's an added position. So we're going to watch that one. As well as the third one I added was SPYI, about 250 shares on this, and the total value was about $12,000 on this one. Again, I felt pretty good on this, so I added that. And I actually added a little bit of MSTY. I'm not going to discuss that yet. We're going to get into that here shortly. Maybe on another video, I'll do that one separately. But today, I just wanted to share with you that I've added QQI, ALTI, and SPYI to the portfolio. We're going to be tracking these and see how they perform. The light bulb moment for me came when I realized I was overly reliant on traditional dividend ETFs. They paid income, yes. They had growth, yes. I love SCHD. Those of you that watch my channel know I am a big holder of SCHD. I have a large portion of my portfolio in there. I'm going to be sharing, obviously, updates with that, as well as JEPQ, ALTI, even some Misty, QQQI, SPYI. I'm going to be sharing all of those updates. So just my income portion of my portfolio. Not going to talk about my growth portion. That's just sitting there. That's for long term. Even after I retire, that's the long term bucket of my funds that will be staying there. So we're going to be looking at that and seeing it's not enough for me to have just those funds. I wanted something that will provide income. My goal is to not have to sell down at all. That is my goal. Whether I do that or not, we'll see. I've really been doing a lot of research and studying on these Alti, QQQI, SPYI, and a little bit of Misty. That's why I'm not going to get into that one quite yet. But I wanted to add this new strategy and combine that with my dividend growth ETFs and also my just growth ETFs like SCHG. But I wanted to really focus on some income-driven, high-yielding positions. Again, not a large portion of my overall portfolio. I think all of my, not counting SCHD, all of my income-focused ETFs only make up about, I think it's about 12% of my portfolio right now, give or take. It's a little higher than I like. I usually like to keep it below 10, but I wanted to get in a couple of these positions a little heavier. So I went and stretched that a little bit. Again, this isn't financial advice for you to go and do this. I'm excited to watch this as I'll be updating. Alti's going to be paying on a weekly basis. The others, JEPQ, QQQI, SPYI, and Misty, all pay monthly. We'll be looking at those probably on a once-a-month basis. Alti, I'm not going to do one every week. I may just do once a month on that as well and just show the 4 weeks of the month and what they did and the accumulation week by week. Just doing a 1-month recap as well. So stay tuned for those. They'll be coming out on a regular basis starting about a month from now. So to recap, Alti for yield, QQQI for growth with income, and SPYI for broad market strength. This trio gives me a well-rounded, income-generating foundation that adapts with the market. What's your strategy in this market? Drop it in the comments, and I'd love to hear it. And I'll do my best to respond to as many comments as I can. If you have questions or thoughts, please feel free to share those. And if you want to see how this compares to my SCHD dividend strategy, there'll be some videos showing that as well, showing the total. So this is what we're looking at, and we're going to go from there. I appreciate you joining me. If you like this video, if you're excited about seeing some of these and how they progress, whether they turn out positive or negative, hit that like button. It helps me generate more videos, get more information out to others. For those of you that like this type of stuff, I also have other videos that are for other people, how to budget, how to invest, basic investing information. Just Simply Money is about all things money and trying to help people build financial independence. So this may be more of your niche. There'll be playlists for these. You can just focus on this type of stuff. If there's other things in the playlist and different playlists that you like, feel free to watch those as well. I do appreciate you joining me, and we'll see you next time on